Hello viewers, welcome back to the Talking Shop channel. We're back out in the shop today. We got the welding bench set up. We're going to do a little welding project. We got to build a battery box for the old forklift. So let's get started. Okay guys, we're out here to the forklift and this is where the battery was at. It sat right in here. Now there was nothing there when I got this. The battery was literally sitting right there. They had a piece of plate steel bolted with these two bolts and the battery was just literally sitting right there. I want to build a box. I'm going to put a disconnect, a main disconnect in. I'm going to put a little fuse panel. We've got a flashing strobe light. We also have a backup alarm. Those are two things that this fork truck did not have originally, but it has it now, and I would like to keep those safety features. So we're going to do a little fuse panel. Like I said, we got a main disconnect switch. I'm going to put that in the box. So, I'm going to build a little box. We're going to do it upright. We'll have to drill a couple holes in it because we're going to have a, of course, we're going to have positive and negative battery cable coming out of it. We'll also have a small wiring harness coming out of it. So we're going to drill a couple holes in it. But we'll do it up nice and make a nice clean installation. One thing we got to watch, and I think we're going to have plenty of room, is right here in the side of the seat is where the choke cable goes. So we got to be careful. We don't want to bang our hands on the battery box every time we go to pull the choke. So I could reroute that too. I could come out like right in here someplace with the choke too. But yeah, so that's kind of what we got going on. I've took some measurements and I'm all set up over on the weld bench. So let's get back in the shop and we'll get to it. Okay guys, so we're set up on the weld bench here. What I got is I got some 1.5" angle iron. We're going to start by building a tray. I've got the battery over on the main bench charging. Got the porta band out. I've already measured the battery. What we're going to do is we're going to make 4 pieces. We're going to cut 4 pieces. We're going to make a tray for the battery to sit in, and then we're going to make a hold down that goes over top of the battery, and we'll come down with a couple of brackets. We'll come down with 2 long bolts. And then we will weld that to a box made out of 1/8" plate. I'm using 1/8" plate because I have lots of 1/8" plate. I don't have to go buy anything. It doesn't have to be that heavy. You could use 16 gauge sheet metal and make a nice battery box, but I don't have any 16 gauge sheet metal. I have lots of 1/8" plate, so that's what we're going to use. It's going to be way heavier than what it needs to be, but it is what it is. So I'm going to start by cutting the angle iron with the porta band, and then we will get those trimmed up and sanded down nice, and then I will get the welder out here and we will weld them together. Okay guys, got the pieces cut to length. One thing I wanted to show you is when you join angle iron, see if you go to join it, you're going to have something like that. Now there's a couple different ways you can do this, but the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to notch this out here and here. I'm just going to stand this up in the vise like so. I'm going to take the porta band and I'm going to come down here. I'm going to go across here 1.5. This is 1.5 angle iron. So we're going to go bloop, bloop, and cut that out. So in an essence, when we're done, what we're going to have is these two pieces will come together like this, and they will join tightly without one laying on top of the other. So that's what I'm going to do next, and when I get that done, we will come back and we'll go to welding. Okay guys, we're back. Got her welded together. That's what I come up with. Let's see if it's not going to come out of there without a little help. Still a little warm. There's what we ended up with. So now this will sit down on a piece of 1/8 inch plate, and we'll weld this to a piece of 1/8 inch plate. The battery is going to sit in here. We'll have a couple of tabs welded on the ends here for hold down bolts. Now essentially I'm going to make this same thing, only it'll go over the top like that, and we'll have to notch out here for the battery posts. But then that'll go down, and we'll have some tabs here, and then we'll just go down with long bolts, and that'll hold the battery down. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get those pieces prepped, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to weld those. Okay guys, so that's what we ended up with. So now we got to fabricate our tabs. I got a long piece of angle iron left. I'm going to mark it out, drill the holes, and then we'll cut it to length, because they're only going to be probably 1.5 inches long, the pieces. So, and they'll just weld like here and here, and then I'll put a nut down here and tack the nut, and we'll just run a long bolt right down through to hold the battery down. So I will get that going. Okay guys, we're back up here on the bench. Got the top and the bottom done. I moved the battery and that over to the big bench out of the way. So here's my bottom now. And I've got it sitting on this 1/8" plate. That is the disconnect switch I was telling you about. And I got that square set up just to show you that is the minimum amount I need. But I'm going to give myself a little bit more. So I'm going to come out here like, say, yay much. That'll give me some room. And then you can imagine the top of the battery box will be following that, or the side of the battery box, excuse me, will be following that up. So I'll put my fuse panel up against it like this. Then that switch will be facing the driver. You can just reach down and turn it on. So I'm going to make a mark, square that off, and then I'm going to bring a plasma out here and we'll get her cut off.